So you might have seen that Michael Jordan can fit in a C4 Corvette, but can you fit in a C4 Corvette every day comfortably? My name is Aaron with Bigfoot Car Reviews. I'm 6'5", and today we're gonna find out. Which key is it? Today we're looking at a 1994 C4 Corvette with over 160,000 miles. This is my dad's personal Corvette, and it's really reliable for him every single day. All right, so we have aftermarket black silver wheels up front and in the rear. Looking at the styling of the C4 Corvette, we have these vents on the side that at first glance, they might look a little functional, but they're actually not, and they're just for looks. And then we have our wide bulges here in the fenders. They go over the tires, and we have a line that goes straight up to the roof of the Corvette. And something you'll notice with the Corvette is it is very, very low slung there. These are the tail lights, and you've got your signature round tail lights on each side. So you pop this up right under the symbol there. That's where the fuel cap is. So while we're in the back here of the C4, let's go ahead and listen to that awesome V8 exhaust. All right, so now we have our rear hatch opened up, and we'll take a look at the trunk. So we have an enormous amount of room here. And on the left and right, you'll notice the Bose speaker. And then if you reach in here, you can actually open that up, and that's technically the glove box for the C4 Corvette, and there's some additional storage there. And now we've made our way to the passenger side of the Corvette. So looking at the door here, we have a light here, a power up and down window switch here. We have our door handle right here, and then we have our door locks here as well, door unlock and lock. And something kind of cool here about the door as well is that we have an extra storage right underneath this little armrest here. And then, so looking here, you have a hard plastic trim here up under the door, and then going down, you have hard plastic all around. The armrest is a slightly softer plastic, and then everything else is really just a hard black plastic. You have your step-in bar siding right here, and this goes right to the height of the seat. And these seats are a black leather, and they are a sportier design with some bolstering here on the side, and you've got your ribbed support here as well that is nice and soft and cushiony. And then we have our feet tunnel here, and it's pretty thin. And then we have vents for the passenger right here on the front. And then moving here, we have our armrest view, and then we have our passenger seat controls right here as well. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and attempt to climb into the passenger side of the C4 Corvette. Oh, so it drops down pretty low here. The foot leg room for the passenger side at my height is pretty minimal, but it's okay for shorter distances here. And then my head is very close to the roof. But something to mention is that these seats are really nice and soft and plush. All right, so now we've made our way to the front of the C4 Corvette. And these do have aftermarket LED bulbs installed in them as well. And down here we have our fog lights. Then on the side here we have our turn signal. To look at the details and the styling of the front of the C4 Corvette, we need to start from the bottom. You'll notice this little lip spoiler moving up. We have our lights, and then we have that aggressive, sharp nose. It's like the tip of a battle axe. And then moving up, we have this huge hood that has bulges right in the middle. All right, so opening the hood of the Corvette, we're gonna open it up from here. And then here we have that glorious engine bay. And right after opening the hood, you can see the tires from the top there. You've got your headlights pointing right at you. And then you've got the LT1 there right in the middle, the heart of the beast. So we are looking at the engine bay, and this is the infamous LT1. Now this LT1 has 300 horsepower and 340 foot-pounds of torque coming from this LT1. And it gives you an idea of just how tall and how large the hood of this Corvette is. So we've made our way back to the driver's side, and I'm going to go ahead and open it up and step right on inside. All right. We are in the driver's seat of the 1994 C4 Corvette. And one of the first things you're going to want to do at my height is to go ahead and adjust the seat. So we're going to go ahead and push that down to go back. And we are currently all the way back here. So now that I've got the seat all the way adjusted, here is the headroom that I have currently. There's really very little headroom, maybe half an inch here. With the columns coming up here on the side, nice and high, you actually have a good place to rest your legs as well. We have our e-brake right here, and then looking up we have our headlights here, and this is the control for the headlights, and that flips them up there. And we actually have a button to turn the traction control on and off there as well. And then we have this unique design here, or unique style for the Corvette steering wheel. And even after all this time, the steering wheel is in such great condition and still nice and soft and has this nice stitching in it. And then looking at the dash, we have a hard plastic all over the dash. Everything is hard plastic. And looking at the gauge here, we have our tachometer right here on the left. Then in the center, we actually have our speedometer and other information there as well. And that's where our speedometer is right there. And then we have our oil pressure there, oil temperature and engine temperatures, and our battery volts as well. And then here on the right side, we have our warning light center here. And this is pretty cool. We have our different settings that we can control from here on the side that will actually, so right here we can use all these little buttons here. From 1994 you can actually look at your instantaneous mile per gallons, and then we have our average, we have our range, and which is just crazy from 1994. And then we have our fuel gauge there right in the center as well. It's all digitally lit up. And then moving to the center here, our temperature settings is all right here. Everything works really great. Then we have our auto AC and heater. We have our circulation, and then we have the different modes we can have set up right here. And you have a nice little 90s green light pop up there. And then we have our tuning right down here. We have our bass and our fade and our different volumes right here as well. And then we have our tape player controls here right on the right. And then moving down to the shifter, we have a nice little shifter here, and have our center armrest here, which is really big and goes back, and it gives my arms plenty of space to rest. When I open up the hatch, all you got to do is press that button and the hatch will open up. And then right here in the center, this is actually a blank button slot that we have here, and this was for different models to change into different sports settings. And the C4 Corvette does have T-tops here, right there. These are completely removable, and you have this Chevrolet little wrench here right in the center, and this is what you use to actually take off the T-tops. And you'll get your Chevy wrench, and you'll go right into these little bolts right here, and one right back there as well, to actually remove the T-tops and go topless, baby. Now it is time to take it out and go for a drive. Oh man, the sound of the C4 Corvette is just awesome. There's a lot of vibrations, but really you just feel cool sitting in the Corvette. So the width of the C4 Corvette, whenever you're driving, you really feel low to the ground, but when you're driving in closer, more narrow roads, you really feel the width. A little bit of an acceleration here. So the 4-speed automatic transmission holds it back a little bit, but you definitely feel quite a bit of the torque. That's fast. All right, so final thoughts and conclusion on the C4 Corvette for taller drivers. Is a little bit of a squeeze for taller drivers, but it is definitely doable, and the seats are just so soft and plush. You get these really cheap. I mean, you're getting a lot of horsepower and a lot of torque, and these do seem to be really reliable, and you can drive it every day, and even at 6'5", it was definitely pretty doable. Well, thank you so much for watching my video, and if you have a Corvette, or if you've been in a Corvette like this before and you have a different opinion, feel free to comment below, and remember to subscribe and share and like and do all that good stuff. Thank you and have a great day.